Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to WCA Weekly's first episode of the new year. This week, High School Spirit Week coverage, homecoming, and a social media night. Ladies and gentlemen, this is WCA Weekly. Hello everyone, this is Isaac F. Davis and welcome to this week's episode of WCA Weekly. High School Spirit Week is well underway here at WCA, and for more continuing coverage of everything going on here, check out our Twitter account for exclusive coverage you won't find anywhere else, and use the hashtag WCA Spirit Week 2014 and we will retweet some of your best tweets throughout the week. Also, the annual Spirit Week Chariot Race will be taking place on Friday, January the 10th, so make sure your chariot is ready for this spectacular event. Also, to conclude Spirit Week, homecoming will be taking place on Friday, January the 10th, and Claire McMurray will have more details on that later in the show. WCA will also be hosting the first ever social media night on Wednesday, January the 15th at 6:30 p.m. This event, which is mandatory for 4th through 12th grade students, will focus on critical information regarding the use and misuse of social media. Also, the event will feature a presentation by William T. Gibbs from the James City County Police and a member of the FBI Peninsula Task Force, as well as student pastors Michael Yardley and Travis Watson.
Hey guys, Claire McMurray back for another exciting sports news week. Please excuse my attire as this week is Spirit Week and it's Wednesday, which means it's Around the World Wednesday because we're leading up to our homecoming game. The girls' game tips off at 5:30 against 3 Point Line Sports, and the boys' game tips off at 7:30. Both those games are home. Another game we're looking forward to on Monday, January 13th with the JJV teams facing Walsingham. That game will be at Walsingham and it starts at 4 p.m. That's just a look into the sports news to come for the next week, so stay tuned and follow our Twitter account at WCA Weekly for sports scores and updates from your WCA Eagles. For WCA Weekly, I'm your sports editor, Claire McMurray, and I'll see you next Thursday.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Michael Emily with this week's headlines and American news. Temperatures were at an all-time low this week for much of the United States as the so-called polar vortex swept through much of the nation during the first half of the week. Temperatures were so cold that New York City's Central Park broke a 118-year-old record on Tuesday morning when the temperature dipped to 4 degrees. Flights were also canceled for many places across the Northeast, with 500 flights being canceled and additional more have been delayed. It was also so cold that a Chicago zoo even had to bring in the polar bears inside because it was so cold. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is in big political trouble at the moment. If you haven't heard, NorthJersey.com has published emails indicating that several top aides to Governor Christie conspired to create traffic jams on the George Washington Bridge, punishing the Democratic mayor of a nearby town who did not support Chris Christie's recent re-election. This is the quote, "Time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee," said one of the aides, Deputy Chief of Staff Bridget Ann Kelly, in an email to Port Authority employee and Christie associate David Wildston. The governor's office released this statement. "What I've seen today for the first time is unacceptable. I'm outraged and deeply saddened to learn that not only was I misled by a member of my staff, but this is completely inappropriate and unsanctioned conduct and was made without my knowledge. One thing is clear, this type of behavior is unacceptable and I will not tolerate it because the people of New Jersey deserve better. This behavior is not representative of me or my administration in any way, and people will be held responsible." for their actions. And to end this week on a lighter note, Australia's National Science Agency has apologized to the nation for failing to invent a dragon or dragon eggs after a 7-year-old girl, Sophie Lester, wrote a letter asking the scientists to make her a dragon. That's all the American news for this week. Stay tuned with breaking news updates on Twitter by following at WCA Weekly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Do you prefer cupcakes or cake?
I prefer cake.
Answer the question. Answer the question. Cupcakes or cake?
I like cupcakes.
You prefer cupcakes or cake?
I prefer cupcakes.
Cake.
Do you prefer cupcakes or cake? Cake. Do you prefer cupcakes or cake?
Oh, cupcakes.
Cupcakes. I'll go with cupcakes. Cake a lot.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of WCA Weekly, and we will see you again next week for more continuing coverage of the happenings around WCA. Be sure to keep updated with news throughout the week on our social media accounts, and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more videos highlighting everything going on here at WCA. This is Isaac F. Davis for WCA Weekly, as usual, signing out.